So hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you the best practices and research for setting up Linux virtual machine on the cloud platform. I'm going to show you DigitalOcean platform. So we are going to see these topics. The first one is setting up DigitalOcean virtual machine setup. Second one will be we are setting up some configuration, basic configurations and upgrades. Then we are going to set up SSH and its configuration for hardening SSH. Same with firewall and Fail2Ban. Then we are also going to see LXD setups, and I'm going to show you how to host Nginx websites on both host and container. The container will be LXD container, and then some verification parts. So let's get started. Okay, so let's get started right away. This is a DigitalOcean's dashboard. We are going to get inside Droplet. Here we are going to create Droplet. We are going to select the closest region for better speed and latency. Ubuntu 24.04 LTS, basic plan, regular. I'm going to select 1 GB and 1 CPU, and we are going to use SSH key. Let's add SSH key. For that, we are going to need the SSH key. So I already have a public key, but let's just create a different one. So SSH keygen -t. We are going to select type ed 519, and file name will be DigitalOcean. I'm also going to add comment. As you can see, we have now our DigitalOcean public key. So we have it. Let's just copy it and paste it here. And add. So we have added SSH key. Improve matrix monitoring. Let's just add because it's free. Let's Droplet. Host name. Let's Droplet. Tag 1 to 20. Droplet. Let's create one. Okay, so it's in processing. Still open. Yeah, so the droplet has been created and we have our IP. Let's just try to log in it. So Ocean and the IP. Yeah, we are inside the machine now. So I uname A. We are on Linux 6.8.71 generic. That is our kernel version. Then right, and it's on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS version. We are logged in as root. So I just show you how to create a DigitalOcean platforms virtual machine, that is Droplet. Let me show you documentation. We are going to create a documentation along with this. So we created a Droplet with 1 GB RAM and 1 CPU. We use SSH key. For that we also generate SSH key. Key generation with command. SSH keygen key. We use ed 25519 type key and use file name and also command. So once we created the machine, we have done some verification of the machine. The commands you name A, LXD is dash A and who am I? This is what we do. For the remaining part, I will not show you the documentation because it will take too long to show it in a single video. So let's move to the next part, that is basic configuration and updates. Let's connect with the machine again. Time date control. You can see the time date zone is not selected, so we are going to select it. The time zone and PCR. Okay. Time date settle. You can see we have set the proper time zone. Let's start with upgrading. Okay, so the upgrades are done. Let's set up automatic upgrades part. We are going to use unattended upgrades. Unattended upgrades. Let's set up the unattended upgrades. That is automatic download and install stable updates. Yes. So with this, we have set up automatic updates. Let's move to the next part. So let's move to the next part, that is SSH configuration. Let's get back to the .sh folder. We have config file here, so let's just delete it. And let's keep it simple. User one, okay. Host name should be IP address, so we are going to copy it from here. Users should be root, and identified file should be .sh.DigitalOcean, not the public one. Now let's verify it. SSH should be, and user one, right? I miss use capital here. User one. Okay. So we have successfully get inside our machine. Let's move to the next part. So we are inside the machine. Let's create user. -m for default directory, S for shell. Add into sudo group. Add group. Okay, and so we have successfully created root user. Yeah, we also got root access user. Till these updates are waiting, let's create. So we are going to add configuration here. Let's just copy this and paste it here. Skid user one. We are going to use DK name, and here also. So we can log in directly into DK user with this. Let's verify it with SSH DK. Permission denied. Public key. We don't have public key, so we will log in into user one again and copy the public key. Just increase the size. So our public key is right here into SSH folder of root directory. We have to copy it into our user, but we also have to keep the permissions right. So instead of CP, we are going to use rsync, A for archive, V for verbose, chown, and set the permissions here. copy the whole SSH into slash home slash. Let's verify it. And no such file or directory. So the command dot s. This place. And yes, we got the SSH file here. Now exit and okay. Yeah, we are logged in as MokuDK now. Who am I? And we are user. So let's get back here. The updates are completed here also. So till now, what we have done is created user and set up a SSH for user. So now we are going to configure the SSHD, that is server side SSH configuration. For that, I have already created a repository. Let me show you. So this is the DigitalOcean repository where there is a config folder, and inside this config folder we are going to build everything. I have already cloned this repository. So this is the repository. In this same repository we have created a readme.md file, which is the documentation of everything that we have done till now. Like we have created a droplet, generated SSH key, add the droplet name also. So test droplet is a droplet name, and we have used the tag that is Ubuntu droplet. Okay, we have used SSH key, and for that we have generated SSH key with this command SSH key gen -t, and for verification we use uname, LSB release, and who am I. Then we created user and set up updates with dpackage reconfiguration, and I have also added the host configuration here, but we are also going to use this put inside here, that is dash config, and here we are going to put now we are also going to create SSHD config, which is our server side configuration. So let's create it here. Yeah. Server side SSH config should be on PCSH SSHD config. The first thing we are going to use is we are going to set is port, that is 22. We can definitely change it. Protocol is to default, but we still add it. Then we have to explicitly close some services. Those are going to be permit login, no. Then password authentication, no. Then challenge response you authentic. Okay. No, and X11 forwarding no. Yeah. So the first one is permit root login. So we are not going to permit root login. Second one is password authentication. We are not going to use that. Then the last thing is X11 forwarding. So this is basically this adding this reduce the attack surface, and the challenge response authentication is just there for other purposes. We have to explicitly on some services, that is use spam key, and um, pub key authentication. Yes. Uh, there is another term that I use that is mm, route TCP forwarding. So we'll set it to yes for debugging purposes, but once we are done, we are going to set it to no. Then there are some metrics that we have to set. First one is max max or tries, that is 3 or 5 usually. So let's set it to 3. Then mm, login trace count. Just try. Let me just check it. Okay, so there is a typo here. So set it to 30 seconds, and yeah. Then find alive interval. It should be 300 seconds, 5 minutes, and client alive. Count max, that should be 2 or 3. Let's set it to 3. So what this thing will do, first it will allow user to try maximum 3 times. Login grace time will be 30 seconds, so you will get 30 seconds to login. Then client alive interval is something that help us to close the window. Like if we are inactive for 5 minutes, that will give us an option to ask if the user is alive. This will not work if we are editing some file or something, but if we are on terminal or shell, this will work. And the max alive count will ask us this 3 times. If we don't answer all this 3 times, the terminal will automatically close. So this is our SSH config. Okay. So what we are going to do now is, you can see we have our pipe is broken. SSH decay, and let's add SSH user one here. So we will have both root and user login, and because we have already created the alias our SSH config, we are going to use them with rsync. This will inherit all the data that is there in config file. So let's send this file We are in config. So this is the file. We are going to update this file into or send this file to the server with rsync command. rsync-av for archive and verbose. Then we are going to send it directly. So let's get the file, that is sh config, and we'll use mukuldk and send it directly to config folder. This will create a config folder if we don't have it. Okay, so let's go to mukuldk and put ll, and you can see we have the config folder here, and if I ls it, you can see we have sh config. Let's cat this file. Config, and you can see we have the configuration here. Let's get into the root, and you can see let's ll etc and sh folder, and we have all those files. Let's back up them for safety purpose. So we are going to use it here. We are inside mukuldk. Let's create a folder for backup config. dir config default. So we have config default. Let's get into it and copy those files. So cp-r for recursive and etc sh, the whole folder here. Permission denied. So add sudo copy r ssh here. The password, and okay, it's worked. So we have already also back up these things, and let's move our real config to the SSH. Before that, let's check if SSH is like enabled or not. So it's fully functional. Okay, so it is says disable. Let's enable it. Yeah, and okay, it again says terminal is not fully supported. So for this, we have to add a export term. Let's add it into our bash rc instead. Dot bash rc, and at the end of the line, I'm going to add term is equal to x term 256 color and source dash rc. Okay, so these are working now. Now what we are going to do is yeah, so service is enabled. we have to copy the config. For that, we are here, so sudo cp config sshd config into pc sh, and let's put it here. And now cat sh and sshd config. So this is our config. Let's test it. -t not key available, so we might need to run it through root. ht test. Okay, so if the test fails, it doesn't gives it will show us errors, but the test is passed. So let's move to the next part. That is sudo systemctl reload ssh. Yeah, so once we are reloaded, let's try to log in via root. So sh user1, and this should fail. Okay, permission denied. So our sh is working, but we also have to check if this one is working, and this should work. Yeah, so our sh configuration is working. So with this, we have successfully set up our sh configuration and set up the hardening. Let's move to the next part. So we have set up the SSH on server. Let's set up the Unix firewall now. For that, we have to install Firewall and Fail2Ban. Repeat install Unix firewall and Fail2Ban. Yes. Okay. So sudo firewall status, and it says it's inactive. So before activating it, we have to add some things like wf allow default outgoing. Default allow outgoing. Syntax error. Yeah, outgoing spelling is default outgoing policy change to allow. Okay, so we have to set incoming to deny. So let's use this same thing. Default deny, and sorry. So all incoming is denied, and we have to allow SSH specifically. So open SSH and rules updated. So let's check the status again. Status, and status is inactive. So I think we have to check purpose. And status update. Let's try to activate it and we'll see then. Enable. Command will disrupt. Firewall is active and still our connection is working. So SSH is working. Let's check the status now. And we can see the SSH is on port 22 and TCP and it's working. Let's set up allow for we should install Nginx first. So let's yeah, take some time. We have done. Nginx service, so it's enable and running. Let's do one thing. Copy, grab, and try to access it, but it will not allow us to connect because firewall is working. So let's open the firewall port with Linux firewall, allow, and Nginx full. It should work like this. Set it and let us sudo UFW status purpose. So Nginx full, so 80 and 443 ports are open from anywhere. So you can see the Nginx is working now. We have successfully set up the firewall. Let's configure the fail2ban. So let's set up the fail2ban service now. Let's check if we are running it already. Fail2ban service, and it's active, running, and also enabled. So let's check the configuration, which should be inside Fail2Ban. There it is. Let's back it up before changing it. So so inside default config, we are going to copy it with sudo dash r use rsync ev chown and etc fail2ban the whole folder into same directory, and we can see fail2ban is here with the right owners. Okay, so let's create the config in our local machine, which is our repository, like this one. So before that, I'm going to push the updates that we have SSH config added. So SSD config. So this is done. Let's create a local jail.local file. Okay. So jail.local file is because we have Fail2Ban here. So so you can see here, this is jail.config file, which is the default file, and we are not going to change it, but we have to add a different file. That's why we have created jail.local file. Let me show you. Jail.config file, and here we are going to change a part. SSD. So you can see this is the part, SSD, and we have to set up port, log path, and all those things, and enable it. So let's create it. So SSD enable should be true. Port should be SSH as given here. Then we have to add another thing, filter SSD. Log path. Let's check what is the default log path. So SSD logs. Instead, we are going to add a different log file that should be for logs. And let's call it Fail2Ban auth log. We have to set some other things like max retries. Max retry, that is 3 times, or let's set 3 times. Ban time should be 1 hour, and what find time? Find time should be 5 minutes, maybe. Okay, 5 minutes. So this should be enough. What this thing will do now is max retries. So that says that if someone tries to log in and it fails 3 times within the time, that is 5 minutes, move it upward. Okay. So within the time, that is 5 minutes, it will be banned, or that IP will be banned, and it will ban for the next 1 hour. So this is what thing will do. Let's let's copy this thing also to our server. We have already used this command. Instead, we are going to use this one, jail.local, and what this will do is we are going to rsync archive verbose the jail local file into mukuldk into the config, which we have done same with ssh config. And okay, this is done. Let's check on our. Okay, so we recently set up the Fail2Ban service, but there is a small mistake. that is right here in this log file. Cannot use this log file because the file will not be there. Instead, we will just comment it out, or let's delete this line completely. And again, we're going to move it there. Let's check if it's there or add config dot local, and okay, the updated file is here. Let's move it to the desired directory, cp config slash dot local file to pc fail2ban, and scat it, cat c fail2ban dot local file. And okay, so the file is here. Let's reload the service again. Reload fail2ban service. uh, we are going to verify if it's working. So go fail2ban client and status. So this shows that SSHD is in jail list. So let's check SSHD, and you can see we have actions and filters. So filters, current failed 0 and total failed 8, all these things. So let's try to hit the server with different IP, or try to log in with uh, wrong users and all. Check if this service is working or not. Okay, for the purpose of testing fail2ban, I have added this screen. So this is my smartphone screen where I have started the Termux app, and we are going to hit the SSH service on our server from this place. So let's do this. Before that, I would like to show you the IP. So let me here, and you can see this is our IP 168.183.92.82. So let me just note it down. 1.183.92.80. We have to hit this IP from our Termux app. So let's do SSH here. This shows that SSH is installed. So let's try SSH and dk. The rate our IP is 68.183.183.92.82. 92.82. So you can see the screen here. Let's increase the size. And hit enter. So this shows permission denied, and we are going to do it multiple times. No time. And let's do it some more time so that we can see the logs inside our fail2ban service. Permission denied. So okay. So with this, I think should be enough. So let's try this again, and yes, you can see the current band 1 and total band 1, and this is the IP of my phone, which I think I can show you from. So This is how we have set up Fail2Ban service also, and I have verified it's working. Okay, so the next part I'm going to show you is installation of LXD and Ubuntu container on it, and then running a server on it. Okay, so let's start with it. So first of all, we have to get here and install the LXD. So let's check if Snap is installed. Snap is installed. So sudo snap install LXD. Install LXD. So the Snap is also not available right now, so it will be installed. Should take some time. Okay, so it looks like LXD is installed. LXD. Yeah. So let's add it into the user group. So user mod add into group, that is LXD into UDK. And you can see LXD is here. LXD in it. Fail to connect LXD get socket while Unix session permission. So it. So it's working. It says, would you like to use LXD clustering? So we'll set it to no. Would you like to configure a new storage? Yes. This is basically our local repository. So we have to set it for the first time. Yes. New storage pool. Yes. Name a new storage pool default. Storage backend use directory PowerFlex Pure LVM. LVM should be used for the smaller RAM device like this. We are going to use DIR. Mass server default no. Create local bridge. Yes, we have to create bridge. Bridge name. So default is LXDBR01. Yes. IPv4 auto and IPv6 auto. Would like to select the server to be available over the network. Let's set it to no. Cache image. Yes. XD init process printed. Would like to YAML. Set it no. Okay. So LXD service is working. Check it with the system setting. Um, the agent loaded inactive. And what about installer socket? So installer socket is enabled. Let's install LXD now. The command launch 20.104. Let's call it container one. Permission denied. launch 12.0 and trying to run launching container one. Should take some time. So let me just note down the name. We use name control. So LXD list and you can see the container one is running and it has an IPv6 address and 0 snapshot. So let's try to connect it with the LXC exec command with one which is an alias for the container and dash dash dash. Yeah. Who am I? And we are inside the root. Let's try to update command. We update and if we upgrade. Okay, so the network is also working. Let's try to connect the server with this and use pop command to check if everything is working on CPU usage. So we are top with the memory and it looks like CPU usage was going for most of the things are controlled here. So our LXD containers network was not working. The reason was simple. We haven't restarted the connection. So I logged out the SSH and we are going to log in again. Before doing anything, we are going to restart the LXD service. That is for systemctl restart snap.sd.1 and let's restart the whole thing. Let's see. Paste and so our container one is running again. Let's execute it. Exec container one bash instance not found. Okay, so we have a typo in command. We are inside the container now. Let's ping c3 like network is not up. So the another reason I can think that the network is not working is maybe firewall. So let's set up the firewall for this. We are in our machine and not inside the container. So firewall, and we haven't added anything here. Let's add it right now. So this firewall allow in on. We have to check the bridge name. 0. Okay. So it was rule added, and we have to add routing. So route allow in on and route allow out on. So I think this should work now. Let's check the containers again. Let's see. Yes, and this is the container running. So let's see. Check and bash, and we are inside the container. From now, let's try ping C or let's try to unreachable. Temporary failure in it's not running. So after reload, everything is working. You can see ping C3 and everything is working. Let's upgrade now. Upgrade. Fine. And you can see network is working on our container also. Once this is finished, we are going to install Nginx, configure it, and end this video with it. Yeah. I think this take a while. So झालं आता हे 5 मिनिटाचं झालं फक्त आतापर्यंत अडकला होता नेटवर्कचा इश्यू होता म्हणजे त्याचं नेटवर्क नाही याच्यात नेटवर्क राहत जेव्हा कोणचं 5G नेटवर्क बरोबर चालते मम्मीच्या एवढ्यावर चालतच नाही तुझं बंद करून जातो So you should restart. So the installation is complete. Let's install Nginx now. Yeah. So let's see if Nginx is running. and Nginx is running, but it's not. It's also enabled and running. So let's try to curl localhost, and you can see the Nginx is running here. Yes, welcome to Nginx. You can see here. This is welcome to Nginx. So Nginx page. This should be inside location of Nginx. www. So let's modify it slightly. cd this is the we are going to, and let's change it to something body margin font family and background. And color should be right. This side LXD container. We are going to add to here. um, Container name, that is container one, and 2.0 over, and you see this page, the Nginx web server inside container is working, is successful, and further is required. So this is pretty much everything we are going to done here, and let's curl again, and you can see container name cont1 and Ubuntu, and this is Nginx inside LXD container. So what we are going to do is we are going to set this service up, work with our virtual machine on cloud. So for that we are going to did this thing. We have already running our terminal here, that is our DK user. So let's configure it from here. Sudo, let's see the command. Okay, config device add. So sudo xc config device config device add, and cont1, which is the name of our container, and let's add, give the name service, that is Nginx one service. So sudo xc config device add this one, and with this we have to add listen to TCP at 0.0.0.0, that is everything, on port 8080, and connect to TCP at 127.0.0.1 on port 80. which is our default port. What happens? Invalid device verification failed. This one failed to load device and unsupported device type. So problem here. We have to add proxy right here. Device and Nginx one is added. So let's try to do this. Well, http:// localhost, and this should give us the Nginx welcome page that is default in our container. And now the same command, but etc plus the container page. Okay, so this is working. Now to verify this, we have to do one more thing, and that is configure our firewall. So that's for that we are going to use sudo Unix firewall and allow EAT add TCP. So rule is added, and let's try to visit this. And this is the Nginx page, default one. And if we do ET, it should show us the LXD container. So with this, I conclude my video. What we have done till now is successfully created a container on our DigitalOcean platform. Then we set it up for automatic updates and created account and set up the server configuration for SSH. Also, I have set the local configuration for SSH for providing alias and uh, inheriting those information into rsync command for better practices. Then we try the SSH and after the configuration of server SSHD, we verify the SSH config if it's working by trying to log in with root user, which is by default close. Then we installed firewall, and along with that we have also installed Fail2Ban service, and I have also verified those two services within this video. Then we install LXD container, set it up, and started it with the user, that is our Mukudiki user. Then I have also installed the Nginx on both local machine and LXD server, and I have just verified that both of this is working. Just for the sake of the video, we are also going to slightly change the normal the containers Nginx, that should be here, right? CD inside we have to use sudo vim www.html, and this is the file. So what we are going to welcome to Nginx on DigitalOcean, and we are going to add color. So with this then this file gets saved. it's a title, and with this we can verify both the pages. Okay, so this is pretty much everything. This is pretty much everything we have covered in this video. Let's end it here. Thank you so much.